my fellow dorks? It is the Turtle Dork here with a new recap and review for Game of Thrones. We are at episode 6, maybe? Called The Climb, directed by Alec Sakharov. I'm the Turtle Dork. I said that again. This is the Disco Dork, and we're here to break this shit down. All right, man, let's get into this shit. So the episode starts off with Sam and Gilly at the fireplace.
Oh, yeah.
You forgot already?
Damn. Damn.
Hey, the show's only an hour.
But so much other important stuff.
Yeah,
not important, but so much other stuff happened that it's more fresh in my mind. Because that's a pretty uneventful scene, and since we're talking about the scene,
it's the opening scene. That's the only reason I brought it up, though.
But no, I mean, you have to. I'm not to blame you for bringing it up, but I'm just saying the reason why I don't remember it because not a lot happened. Really, that scene is just to establish what happened to those two characters in the light of the shit that popped off at Craster's place before when the crows turned on him and then each other.
Just kind of catching up with them. Yeah, seeing where they are and just really just kind of showing you the rapport that they have and also just their budding romance as well. Because he sings to her, she asks him, can you sing? So it's really just kind of just catching up with those two characters after that shit that happened at Craster's place. Yeah. So let's get into Jojen. So he's asleep and he is having a vision. And the scene starts off between Osha and Mira kind of like, spatting off at each other, because they're skinning rabbits and whatnot. And, Bran is telling them, like, look, y'all need to chill.
Yeah, they're just catfighting.
Yeah, pretty much. But the crux of this scene is Jojen has a vision and he wakes up and he says that he saw Jon Snow and he was on the opposite side of the wall and he was with the enemies, referring that he was with the wildlings. And so I don't know. I think that's letting Bran know, okay, you saw my brother. Where was he? And then him telling him he was with the enemy. Bran not really having or his abilities of being able to see the visions and warging. I guess maybe not as refined. I don't know how he's taking that as far as hearing that about his brother. Yeah. So just kind of getting used to it. But then we get cut to Ygritte. The scene between her and Jon as they prepping.
They're at the base of the wall now. Yeah, they're getting ready to scale the wall.
Climb, yeah.
And she's saying that Tormund's climbed it like 50 times. This is her first time. She's always wanted to look out from the top of that wall. Yeah. And Jon is, he's rightfully afraid. And she even admits that she's afraid too, but they got to do it. But the meat of that conversation is her reveal to Jon that she knows that
his secret.
He's still a crow.
Yeah.
And he, he's infiltrated that group. But basically she's saying that, you be loyal to me. I'm your woman now, so be loyal to me. Not the crows, not the wildlings, but to me. Like, I'll ride for you. You just need to ride for me. Don't betray me. That's what she says. She says, don't betray me. Don't lie to me, and don't break our trust. Then they take their asses up the wall. It's funny though. Like right before that scene is the scene where Tormund says, I saw your brother, he was on the opposite side of the wall and he was surrounded by the enemy. And then you cut to Jon with the wildlings. And at this point, it's supposed to be Jon's one of them. They're supposed to be on his side. But what's that guy's name that doesn't like him? The one that tries to cut the fucking rope.
Orell.
Yeah, Orell. Like, that's a bit of that, him being surrounded by the enemy is a bit of foreshadowing prior to, right before they scaled that wall, because you have the uncertainty of just the natural danger associated with trying to scale the freaking wall and the wind, the gusts of wind that are there, and just the loose ice and things that break apart, just all the hazards that come with freaking rock climbing or ice wall climbing, whatever. But then you're also climbing the wall with people who don't necessarily trust you. And so there's that added danger for Jon. So that line kind of rings true to that when Tormund, what's his name?
Which one? The one that cut the rope? Jojen.
Jojen. Yeah. When Jojen says that line, it kind of rings true in that regard as well, that, because they cut directly to it, that, okay, he's about to embark on this little dangerous trek up this wall, and he's and he's going up there with people who aren't necessarily 100% positive that he is loyal to them as well.
Exactly. Let's kind of break this down. There's a couple of different scenes, but we can kind of talk about it all together. Melisandre, when she comes to get Gendry. So there's a couple of different scenes. So we see her on horseback, and she has a bit of a reunion, I believe, with Thoros, who he says who was a priest as well. But I guess we learn a little bit more about the Lord of the Light, and he even mentions that, we serve the same God, but in two different ways. Yeah. And so she's come there to get Gendry because he has Baratheon blood. And so I don't know, just that whole thing. And then Arya's a bit suspicious of her too, as we get towards the end of that scene when they end up taking Gendry, and how she's a little bit upset and pissed off at Thoros and Beric, because he was like, look, Gendry wanted to be one of you, and now you're giving him to this woman, and you're not serving the Lord of Light, you're doing this for gold. And Thoros explains to her, it's like, look, we're here, we need weapons, we need food, and the only way we could do that is with gold. So we do serve our God, but we also need a means to an end as well. And then also that exchange between Melisandre and Arya when she's looking into her eyes and telling her what she sees, and we'll meet again. So there's a lot there.
It kind of like that particular moment when Melisandre says that, it to me it kind of harkens back to that initial watch throwaway line of, when Melisandre tells Stannis, I've been fighting longer than you have. And you first watch it, and you're like, whatever, what that doesn't mean anything. But knowing in the future that, she is in fact old as fuck, because when she takes her necklace off, her true appearance, you can see it. So this line kind of is the same way, like when you see it, so Melisandre, she approaches Arya, and she looks her in her eyes, and she says, I see a darkness in you, and I see eyes staring back, brown eyes, green eyes, blue eyes, eyes that will, what did she say? Eyes that will never see again, or something like that. And and then Arya's looking at her like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then initially when you watch that scene, you're like, Arya, what the fuck are you talking about? Whatever. But knowing Arya's journey and how she will go to Bravos and learn to become one of the Faceless People, and then begin to assassinate people. Melisandre is seeing the future. She's seeing the victims of Arya from the future. She's seeing the people that she will kill. So when you think about it, when I think about it in those terms, that that line has more weight to it now.
Wow. Okay.
And I was remarking in the previous video about how the show treats these characters who are on these quests for revenge, and wondering what does that mean for Arya, and coming off of that thought and hearing Melisandre say, I see this darkness in you. I don't know, like it just, again, I just can't help but think, man, what does that mean for Arya?
What does that mean for her character? Moving forward. Ramsay torturing Theon.
I can't. Ramsay tortured Theon and TurtleDork.
Man, I can't. I don't like this type of shit, man. I try to tell people all the time, like, Darren talks about being in the military, and he was telling me some stories off camera. I couldn't have done half this shit, because I can barely experience this stuff as a production on screen watching it. So the way Ramsay is torturing Theon and what he does to his fingers.
What does he do to his fingers?
He takes like a little prick knife thing. I don't want to think about it. Stop. Why'd you make me have to do that? Then talk about it.
Can I go into graphic detail?
Go ahead.
So the Boltons are known for their sigil. It's the flayed man, right? Yeah. So basically, that's what he's doing. But he's just starting with Theon's fingertip. So he's just skinning his fingertip. But the torture really isn't so much about the physical aspect of it. It's more about the psychological aspect of it. Because he's saying, if you can you guess where you are, who I am, or why I'm doing this to you? If you guess right, I'll let you go. I'll leave you alone. If you guess wrong, then you're going to be begging me to cut your finger off. So Theon ultimately, two wrong guesses. After two wrong guesses, he guessed correctly, but it's not really correctly because Ramsay was lying anyway, and so he proceeds to continue to torture him. So, I mean, it's just, this is not even the start. This is just a continuation of a mindfuck that began like a few episodes ago. That's going to continue, and it's Theon hasn't even become Reek yet.
No, I know. And when he becomes Reek.
So he hasn't even gotten castrated yet. So this
hasn't happened yet either.
This is just the beginning for Theon of a long and arduous journey from the bottom, because he still isn't even hit rock bottom yet, which is insane to think about. With all that's been done to him so far just by Ramsay. That's crazy that he hasn't even brought him to rock bottom yet. Yeah. That's nuts.
It's wild, man. It's wild. I feel for Theon, man. I can't wait to see where his character goes next season. Okay, so the Freys. He gives his terms to keep the alliance, or for the alliance with the Starks. So I think those two men, were those his sons?
Yeah.
Okay, so they come to tell the Starks, okay, these are the terms that Walder Frey wants, and we'll give you the soldiers that you need to fight against the Lannisters.
It's important to note that Walder Frey is aware of Robb breaking his vow, he's aware that Robb has married Talisa instead. Yeah. So he's using that as leverage, basically.
Yeah. So now, in order to for this alliance, Frey is asking that Edmure, Robb's uncle, to marry his daughter Rosalind, and so Edmure is a little apprehensive about this.
He's like, what she look like first?
Yeah. What she look like? So when Walder Frey's sons leave, they have a meeting amongst themselves. Lady Stark, Robb, his uncle Edmure, and the other gentleman who is Caitlyn's uncle. And that dude, man, that's the dude that did the bow and arrow. So
after Edmure fucked
that up. Yeah. So Edmure's up here saying, look, man, I ain't trying to do all this. I'm not doing it. So Caitlyn's uncle, old dude, man, and that dude, man, is fucking huge. Yeah. He gets up. He's like, look. He's like, I'm gonna make an oath between my fist and your teeth if you don't do this. So I like this scene because on my original watch, of course, when I come into this show late, I knew about the Red Wedding, and hearing about this and the wedding between Edmure and Rosalind, his daughter, I was like, oh, okay, so we're heading there. This is foreshadowing where this is going. Again, I didn't see it, so I didn't know how it was going to play out. But this scene, even just hearing about it, I was like, okay, so this is where all this is leading to. Like all these decisions.
This is a setup. This whole meeting.
It's all a setup. Yeah. It's all a setup to ultimately what's going to be Robb and Caitlyn's fate. And so I just found this scene to be kind of pivotal in letting us know ultimately what's to come.
Yeah.
So we have that. Then we have Bolton. Okay, Bolton allows Jaime to go back to King's Landing without Brienne, though.
Yeah.
And this is kind of funny. You was laughing at this because the way he was trying to cut his meat with one hand.
Look, I'm not. All right, I ain't laughing at the fact that because basically Jaime is disabled.
He's disabled. He's a
disabled person, right? So I'm not laughing at a disabled person.
No. It's just I know what you mean.
This motherfucker he was cutting his pork. He was trying to cut his pork chop. And really, technically, it ain't even the fact that he was trying to do it with one hand. He was trying to do it with a goddamn. I don't even think that was like a steak knife. That shit was like a spoon.
It's like a butter knife.
They gave him like a flat spoon to cut a pork chop with, right? And the reason why it's funny is because
nobody's helping him.
There had Brienne and what's his name? The dude, goddamn.
Bolton,
yeah. Bolton is he's talking business, right? And Brienne and she's talking too, and she's listening. And meanwhile, and Jaime's in the shot, and he's trying to fucking cut this pork chop with a spoon. And fucking Brienne's trying to conduct business, but she also keeps her man over. She's like, and she takes the fork like while she's talking and sticks it in the Chop the hole in place. Like, look, goddamn it, if you don't cut this meat, and so we can have this goddamn discussion. And it's so funny because Jamie even remarks, he says something about, well, apparently you just watching me fail at dinner or some shit like that.
Yeah,
I thought that shit was funny.
Oh man. So the big takeaway outside of the humor of that scene was Bolton's going to allow, and Jamie even remarks like, okay, how is this going to look with you letting me go back to King's Land? Because we got to remember too that Bolton is with Robb Stark in this war. He's on the side of the North. So we're starting to see a lot of shit unravel, especially with all these different characters and how they're tied together. I mean, just with Bolton and with Ramsay and what he's doing with Theon and everything like that. So things are starting to unravel. Bolton, Tywin. Oh, Tywin and Olenna, when they were talking about the arrangements and the fact that Olenna is not too happy with the fact that Tywin has ordered basically Cersei to marry Loras.
Yo, she basically took her first L. Like,
yeah.
It reminds me of the scene that in the previous episode between her and Tyrion, or maybe it was the episode before that when her and Tyrion were like, you know, she was like one of the first people to kind of stump Tyrion and like kind of check him a little bit. Yeah. And the tables have turned. Like, Tywin is, you know, he set the terms like, yo, you know, Cersei's gonna marry Loras is the name.
Yep.
And because Olenna is against that because she feels that Cersei is too old to
give Loras children.
To bear children, right. And so Tywin was like, I don't want to hear all that. This is the plan. This is what's going to happen. Yep. Either we do this or he was going to write it. What the fuck was he getting ready? Oh, he was going to make Loras as Kingsguard. To the Kings, make him part of the Kingsguard. Yeah. And so she wasn't.
And their vow as a Kingsguard is that they can't wed, can't have children. So he was like, look, if I do this, then your name ends with you. Like, the Tyrell name will end. And is this what you want? It's like, I can go ahead and send these orders now.
Yeah.
And so she, of course, allows the wedding to move forward between Cersei and Loras.
Yeah.
So you're right, she does take her first L, but great scene between these two great, powerful characters, and to see them in the same room together, it's just awesome. I loved it. Then we get to the scene with the wall, when the wall breaks, and so Orell cuts the rope and all that shit. Yeah, all that shit. So I don't know, man. Like, that was a telling scene, and it's kind of been leading up to that with Orell and that character between Jon Snow and everything. Of course, what Ygritte was talking to Jon Snow about at the bottom of the wall before they started to climb, and to see that, and Tormund is trying to save them, and of course, in the act of it, Orell, you would think he's making the right decision, because if he doesn't cut the rope, then all of them could die. Yeah. But we really know his true intentions.
He was glad. He's like, oh shit, it's the perfect opportunity to get rid of this dude, cut this rope.
It was an opportune time for him to carry out what he initially always wanted to do.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was just from a filmmaking standpoint, man, just visually, just the way, I mean, we look at it's weird watching this on your TV because the audience doesn't know. He's got a nice, pretty big, what's this, 65 inch, 4K TV. So it is weird because you mentioned this a lot. Like, sometimes, like, when you watch like a visual effects film or a TV show, sometimes you can kind of see some of the seams in the visual effects, especially like green screen and stuff like that. Yeah. You can kind of see it a little bit. And of course, this is season 3, and the production value gets better as we move along. But even with that being said, it still looks beautiful the way they were able to capture just the scope of it with the effects, and how they even had the wall break when you see those wide shots and you see that the pieces of the wall falling down. Yeah. All that shit just looks fucking incredible, man. Got a couple more points, I think. 2 more. Okay, Cersei and Tyrion.
I totally forgot about this scene. It's a great scene.
Yeah, when they're talking about the arrangement that they have for their wedding. So we always see them at odds, and they're still a bit at odds, but you can also see them kind of a little bit banding together because they're kind of in the same situation.
They're on the same. They're on the even playing field.
Yeah.
Now, because Tywin has basically screwed them both.
Yeah.
And so they're both of them are smart enough to know. Both Cersei and Tyrion are smart enough to know. It really would benefit neither of us to be at each other's throats right now.
Right at this point,
because we got bigger shit to worry about. If we can get out of this, then I'll go back to fucking hating your guts or whatever. But another thing that's interesting is that this scene seems to imply that Cersei was not responsible for giving the order to kill Tyrion at the Battle of Blackwater. Which, to hear Tyrion explain it, it does make sense.
Because that's what I'm trying to think. Like, because it was kind of vague.
It was Joffrey. Because he said, Tyrion said, I'm the only one who talks to him that way, who tells him what he really is. And because you've got to remember, up until that, he done smacked Joffrey a couple times. He's been popping off, like talking real reckless to Joffrey. And Joffrey got tired of that shit and was like, yo, kill that motherfucker. And because Tyrion said, he gave Cersei enough credit to know you're too smart to have someone in Kingsguard armor kill me in front of all of the Kingsguard and the rest of our soldiers. Yeah. Joffrey is so short-sighted. He don't think of shit. He don't think ahead. So, of course, he would give such a short-sighted order as something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that does make sense. Okay. Yeah, that does make sense.
And that's why when he asked her, like, she looked away like that because, again, it was a decision made by her son who she has no control over. And
that makes sense, too, because, what was it, the opening season for season 2 when they killed all the Baratheon bastards in the brothel. Mm-hmm. And we come to find out that was ordered by Joffrey. Mm-hmm. So that seems to be kind of like in his wheelhouse of something that he would do. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that does make a lot of sense. Let's get to, I want to get to Baelish and Varys in the throne room. Them having that conversation because this is pivotal because I missed that line, chaos is a ladder, because it comes back in season 7 with Bran when Bran is talking to Baelish and he says chaos is a ladder, and that puts Baelish back like, whoa, like what the fuck? And so that starts here where they're talking about well, he mentions Rose.
Well, so basically, Baelish finds out that Rose was in Varys' employ.
Exactly. Yes, she was a spy for Varys.
And because of that, it almost threw a monkey wrench into Baelish's plans. But because he found out, he was able to subvert that, and he ended up doing some fucked up shit to Rose.
There's a lot of callbacks and payoffs when he talks about the bad investment, the conversation that he had with Rose. We also get a payoff from the weapon that from the way Joffrey tortured the 2 prostitutes that Tyrion gave as a present to Joffrey, and also the weapon, the crossbow, the Daryl weapon. So there's a lot of payoffs to that, because I remember vividly when he did kill, and I couldn't remember, but when Baelish implies that Rose has been taken care of, then I knew that okay, this is when Joffrey killed her with the crossbow, and we get that flash to that. And then that just goes to what he was saying when Varys says chaos is a pit. And he's like, no, chaos is not a pit. Chaos is a ladder. And it's a ladder that you have to climb. And how that scene transitioned to, of course, Jon and the wildlings climbing the wall.
But you also get before that, you see Sansa.
Yes.
So we skip the scene where Tyrion goes to Sansa to basically break the news that, yo, you're not getting married to him. You got to marry me. Yeah. Which means you're not going to be able to leave. Mm-hmm. So when he's giving that chaos speech, there's almost like this montage of sorts.
Yeah.
Part of that montage is Sansa seeing Baelish's ship leave without her. So she's stuck
there and has to marry Tyrion.
No Highgarden, and because early in the episode also there's a scene between her and Loras Tyrell, a real awkward scene because he's not into her in the
lease.
But he's trying to front like he is.
Yeah, it's very awkward.
But she's so smitten. She's excited. She's looking forward to going. You know, even when Tyrion enters her chambers to break the bad news, right before that, Shay is fitting her for her gown that she's going to wear at Marjorie and Joffrey's wedding. And she's talking about how excited she is to go to the High Garden and have dresses made for her at her wedding. And then right at that moment, that's when Tyrion comes in and delivers the bad news. So just seeing, you know, she's just destroyed watching Peter's ship leave because he even remarks at that moment that, you know, sometimes you can even offer people a way out, you know, offer them the ladder, a way out, and sometimes they just refuse it. And he's talking about her. And so, yeah, it's a pretty heartbreaking moment for Sansa.
Yeah, it's going to get worse before it gets better. But it will get better, at least at this point. We don't know yet, but so yeah. Then the final scene when Ygritte and Jon get to the top of the wall. And they're able to look on the other side of the wall and look at all that land that's filled with grain that Ygritte has never been able to see for the first time. And, you know, they share a kiss and they're able to share a moment together and share that moment together, which I thought was a very sweet way to kind of end that episode. But yeah, I thought that was great. Anything about that final scene with the two of them?
Yeah, I'm pissed off that your boy didn't get tossed up. Man, look.
You said that would have been the first thing.
That would have been the first thing, babe. Hold on, I'll kiss you in a moment. You go look at the vast green fields. I'm gonna go kick this motherfucker off the wall for cutting the rope on me.
Be like, can you fly, Orel?
Bro, that on sight. Man, Jon Snow is a better man than me. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, too bad that they don't have RoboCop in the Westeros, because we could have let them know. You know,
can you fly, Bobby?
Yeah, could have shown Clarence Bonniger and shown how you supposed to do it. But that's episode 6, The Climb, directed by Alec Sakharov. Sakharov?
Yeah.
Say it.
I ain't fucking it up. I'm gonna let you do that.
Anyway, check out the other dorks at...
What's their name?
Mouth Dork, Brad Gullickson, WB Das, Billy Das.
Why'd you give them the government names? I'm talking about the dork names.
I did, but you said what's their name. You didn't say what's their handle.
Oh, we getting into semantics right now.
Look, what did you just say? Say what you mean what you say when I was talking to you about the quesadilla?
Why you bringing up old shit?
I'm just saying. Follow the other dorks at Mouth Dork, at WB Das, at Sidewalk Siren. I'm the Turtle Dork. This MFer is, what's your name?
My government name? My government name is TheDiscoDork.
This is TheDiscoDork, and with that, we're out.
Deuces.